Yeah, that was Rafi. Little local talent hitting you hard. All we need is love.
Yeah, and that's what he's trying to say is spread the word, and San Francisco, Oakland, all the different counties and cities need to get together because what we need is love because there's all that violence happening.
Right.
Whether it be rape, brutality, police brutality.
Police brutality.
I mean,
police harassment.
Police
all of that.
Which is what, actually that's perfect to lead into what we're going to talk to. Right now, we're going to speak on the subject of what's going on with Mac Dre. We have producer Mac Dre, producer of the Strictly Business organization, Khayree. Ray Love is one of his acts, and Ray brought down his latest. We're going to be sending this out. Matter of fact,
who can be trusted?
Who can be trusted?
Very few.
We're going to give this to caller number 3 at 1-800-614-MUSIC. Ray Love's hottest and latest. Khayree, why don't you give us a little insight on what's going on with Mac Dre and the whole controversial set.
As everybody knows, March 25th, 1992, Mac Dre was arrested for attempted bank robbery and conspiracy to commit bank robbery in Fresno, California by the FBI, Fresno Police, and Vallejo Police Department. At this point in time, he's still locked down in Fresno County Jail with no bail. We just got through recording a brand new maxi single from Fresno County Jail, which will be out July the 7th on the streets. Mac Dre, Back in the Hood, live from Fresno County Jail. That put aside, essentially what happened, man, is in our opinion, Mac Dre was arrested because of a song he wrote called Punk Police, which is contained on his new EP, What's Really Going On. He went down to Fresno, as I had mentioned before when I was on this show, to do a concert with Ice Cube. He performed with Ice Cube 2 weeks prior to him being arrested. After performing with Ice Cube, he was arrested. He went back down to Fresno 2 weeks after performing with Ice Cube, just for a social visit to kick it with some people and everything. And the Vallejo Police Department followed him all the way from Vallejo to Fresno. And this was on the March the 24th. On the 25th, after running around Fresno all day long, now check this out. Okay, I'm Mac Dre, hypothetically speaking. Here I am with a t-shirt on that says Mac Dre, right? So all day long on the 24th, I'm running around Fresno, going to malls, going to restaurants, kicking it. You see what I'm saying? Going in my hotel and everything, with his t-shirt that says Mac Dre. Mac Dre is extremely popular in Fresno as he is here in the Bay Area, so everybody knows who he is. Plus, he's running around with a t-shirt that says Mac Dre on. He in the mall signing autographs and all this kind of thing. The very next day, 2 of his partners get up that morning and they go to go for a ride, right? It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. This is according to the police department. They go for a ride. While they're going for a ride, they ride past the bank, according to the police department. Hold on, what's up?
Oh, you can go ahead. We're going to go to the video soon, but I want you to go ahead and finish up what's going on.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, to make a long story short, man, the police say that 3 individuals pulled into a bank parking lot, looked around the bank, were thinking about robbing the bank, decided not to because they seen the TV camera, then went back to the hotel. After they went, now Mac Dre was not in the car with these 3 individuals. When they went back to the hotel, they left, went to House of Pancakes, got something to eat, and then drove off. No bank. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and show Mac Dre's California Livin video.
Yeah.
And we'll come back and tell them what happened after.
That's cool.
This so-called scenario that they try to inflict it.
Mac.
Mac Dre, we smooth California living on them. What's up, my rap guys?
All right, well, that was Mac Dre and the California Livin video.
Yeah.
It is dope, man.
Yeah, California Livin. That's straight what they were doing.
That's right.
All over the Bay Area. A question I want to direct towards Khayree, though. You've been on before, and we were talking about Mac Dre and his whole situation.
Right.
And, to maybe the common viewer who's saying, well, maybe he did try to rob that bank.
That's right.
What makes you think he didn't, or wasn't with his homies, or they didn't want to do something like that?
Right.
I mean, he's been in already for like 3 months. I mean, you know, I could see a person staying for 2-3 weeks, but why is he staying there for like 3 months? Where's the evidence? Where is it all coming from, or where is it gonna go?
That's a good question. Number one, they can arrest you and charge you. Let's take an example. They can arrest you and say, G-Spot was found guilty. We suspect him of a murder.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
We got him.
We got him.
America's most wanted. We looking for the reward.
They can hold you until trial day. Okay, the evidence might be somebody that looked like you. A suspicion means just that, suspicion of. They can hold you until your trial date. Now the issue is, depending on what county jail you in, how long the line is. You know what I'm saying? How long the line is. Now Mac Dre's trial date is August the 11th. Tentative trial date, okay? So August the 11th, it'll take about 3 weeks to wrap the whole trial up, and at that point, the truth will be known. Or should we say, their side will be presented and our side will be presented, okay? So that's why they can hold him in jail. To answer your question in respects to evidence that shows that Mac Dre wasn't involved in any wrongdoing, I'll just make some common sense examples to you. For number one, like I said, all day long he was running around in a Mac Dre t-shirt. If you're gonna rob a bank, anybody with a brain in here doesn't drive from Vallejo 3 hours away to Fresno and think that they're gonna get away driving 3 hours back on the freeway with a sack full of money. Anybody that's famous and that's a well-known entertainer like Mac Dre doesn't go into a town, expose himself wearing his t-shirt, and then say, well, we'll hit the bank tomorrow before we go back. Number two, when the police pulled him over, they found one gun, a Glock 9mm in the back of the car. You don't rob a bank with 3 people with one gun. Number four, what hasn't been brought out is that there was an individual who was an FBI informant that was with them, that was wired the whole time. So he was with them. He drove from Vallejo all the way down to Fresno, and they didn't know this. And he was wired the whole time trying to get some kind of story or some kind of evidence of wrongdoing by the Romp or Mac Dre, whatever the case might be. Okay? So these points, number 5, if you will, Mac Dre was not in the car with these individuals when they supposedly went into a bank parking lot. Number 6, the guy that was the FBI informant was the one that was driving the car. So if I'm working for the FBI, of course I'm gonna drive you to a bank parking lot. Now you might say, for example, G-Spot, Barry, myself. Now let's go kick it. Let's say you're working for the FBI, right? Okay. G-Spot, you say, I'm gonna go ahead and drive. That's what you say, right? Okay. Well, when you drive, you're not gonna drive to the carnival. You're gonna take us right to a bank to help set the whole thing up. You might have cases against you. So the FBI come to you and say, hey, look at here. You already finna go down for about 7 or 8 years based on 99,000 different cases we got against you. So it would behoove you to get involved and cooperate with this program, right? What you gonna do? Oh, no, I ain't no snitch. Okay, I'm with it. Next thing you know, you driving me and Barry to a Bank of America. We ain't even tripping. You just drive. We just out hanging in Fresno. You driving, okay? Next thing you know, we get on the way back home. Now check this out. Evidence, probably piece number 99 for you. On the way back home, you're in a separate car, okay? Driving back. The 3 of us are in, Mac Dre and his 2 partners are in another car. You speed on 100 miles an hour ahead of us. We looking at you like, man, why are you driving so fast? What you tripping on? We don't even trip. Next thing you know, the police pull us over, arrest us, but you don't get arrested. There were 4 people in the car. They didn't talk about that. You see what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a couple quick questions real quick. The FBI agent, did you meet him or did you talk to him? Were you hanging with him yourself?
Me?
Yeah, you.
He's tripping, man.
I mean, was he hanging with Mac Dre?
The FBI agent, let me explain. Okay, I was cracking a joke, but on a serious note, I never have met him. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, use a hypothetical example. No. What happened is that Barry knew the FBI agent. He was one of Barry's partners. Barry said, oh, I got my partner G-Spot that's going to kick it with us.
So Mac Dre really didn't know him that
Mac Dre don't even know this
So
fool.
let me kind of get this straight then. In a way, it's kind of a trap because of the song Punk Police, and then the FBI are basically saying, well, okay, this song is advocating this or this saying
Vallejo Police Department.
And then, so they go and get an FBI agent and say, okay, he comes out with this song, he's got all these prior violations. Let's get a man who's, wired, and let's put him on Mac Dre or the Romp. So
yeah, Ray Love want to make a point.
Yeah, we gotta do it like this.
Okay, I'm gonna make this real quick though. But you gotta think about also the times where we at. We around election time. Then they got all these youngsters all over the Bay Area that's robbing and jacking this and big stuff like banks and stuff to that extent or whatever. And you thinking they can't catch them? They got them on America's Most Wanted, Unsolved Mysteries, all this stuff. And the President Bush, he up there like, yo, you better catch somebody. Get somebody for it. So catch the flashy man. Catch the man with the money in the cars and somebody, some way you can pin a case on. Why not? You know what I'm saying? You got to think about all the way across the board who they want to catch. They got these youngsters, he in jail, and the banks is still getting hit.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything's still getting robbed, so, that's drama, man.
Well, You know, a lot of times what we have been noticing is that there are a lot of conspiracies against the rap stars because a lot of times they're talking against the mainstream, and it caused a lot of controversy. And as Ray Love was saying, it's a political thing also, and I think that's what they're dealing with this issue as of right now. So we're gonna make sure that that's what's going, you know, that this doesn't happen with Mac Dre. That's why we're giving it so much attention.
We appreciate that. Like Ray was saying, everybody's jacking. Banks still been getting hit. In his new cut, recorded live from jail, back in the hood, he says, they said I was the one doing all this, but banks just keep on getting hit. You see what I'm saying? I mean, since he's been in, they tried to rob a pizza parlor in Vallejo just the other day before yesterday.
Right.
They, federal savings have been hit. There's been like, man, probably 6 or 7 different bank robberies since he's been in jail. Ain't nothing gonna stop. Because if you broke, you know what I'm saying? If you broke and you don't have an understanding of how to come up, you're gonna do it the best way you can. That's still dope, rob, or whatever it is.
Well, look here, we're gonna get on. We're gonna go ahead to this next video right here. We have a couple of actors in the house. They're gonna be set up for them, and we're gonna also talk a little bit more about the Mac Dre situation and everything. All right, so let's kick it.